You know, in the massive world of One Piece, some of the most powerful stories are actually hiding in the earliest chapters. Today, we're going to deep dive into just one of them. It's a story that asks a pretty simple question, but gives a huge answer. In a world obsessed with gold and glory, what is the true meaning of treasure? So, Chapter 13 is called, simply, Treasure. And that one word, man, it tells you everything you need to know. This is not about gold coins, it's not about jewels, it's about something way, way more valuable. And it all kicks off in a town that's in some serious trouble. We get dropped right into the middle of total chaos. I'm talking about a port town just getting ripped apart by the Buggy pirates. And who just happens to wander right into the thick of it? Well, of course, it's our hero, the rubbery captain-to-be, Monkey D. Luffy. The mayor just can't wrap his head around it. This kid took a cannonball to the gut and didn't even flinch. And while Luffy is really just there looking for a map and maybe a navigator, he's about to stumble onto something way more important, something worth fighting for. And right here, this is where the real heart of the story kicks in. In the middle of all this destruction, we see this little guy, a dog named ChouChou, and he's standing guard in front of a pet food shop, just refusing to move an inch. I mean, just look at this matchup. It's insane. On one side, you have ChouChou. He's small, but he is all fight. And on the other, Richie, a literal lion who works for Moji the Beast Tamer, one of Buggy's main crew members. This is an impossible fight, but ChouChou is not backing down. And the fight kicks off, fast and brutal, with this awful thwomp. The lion just lunges, and suddenly all that courage is put to the ultimate test. Yeah, ChouChou never really stood a chance. He gets bitten, thrown around, and slammed into the ground. It is just heartbreaking to see this loyal little guy get so completely manhandled. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why would he risk it all for this one little shop? So what is the deal? Why would a dog literally risk his life for a simple pet food store? Well, because to him, this building isn't just a building, it's a promise. The mayor lays out the whole backstory. See, this shop was his owner's dream. We see these little flashbacks of them opening the store together, celebrating small wins. And then the last memory, his owner, getting sick, heading off to the hospital, and telling ChouChou to watch the shop. That building is everything ChouChou has left of the person he loved most. But Moji the Beast Tamer, he couldn't care less about any of that. He just sets the whole shop on fire. And as ChouChou is barking at the flames, totally helpless, Luffy just watches. And you can see it on his face, that exact moment where it all clicks. He finally gets what that building really means. And then Luffy says it, the single most important line in this whole chapter. It's not just a store, he says, it's his treasure. And for a guy like Monkey D. Luffy, that changes absolutely everything. Someone's treasure was just destroyed for nothing. And if there is one thing Luffy will never, ever let slide, it's that. So the time for watching is over. Now it's time to fight. He just walks right up to Moji, who is completely stunned. He thought this kid was already taken care of. And with that classic, totally fearless grin, Luffy makes his big announcement. I'm a rubber man. Moji has absolutely no idea what is about to hit him. And here we go. The battle is on. It's Luffy versus Moji and his lion, Richie. But this isn't just some random street fight anymore. No, this is about a principle. This is a fight for ChouChou's treasure. Moji is just screaming at Richie to bite Luffy's head off. But Luffy's already moving. He plants his feet, grabs his own arm, and just starts twisting it. Tighter and tighter, like he's winding up a giant spring. All Moji can do is stare and yell, "What are you doing to your arms?" Oh, he knows exactly what he's doing. And we get that classic call-out, building the power, building the anticipation. Gum gum. Gavel! And he unleashes it. The punch just rockets forward and smashes right into Richie's face with unbelievable force. The giant lion goes down in one single incredible shot. The sound just rips through the town, a huge, final crash. And just like that, the fight is over. With the lion down, Luffy turns to a terrified Moji, and his face is dead serious. This wasn't an accident. He chose this. And then he tells him why. That's why I came, to clobber you. And he does. One quick kick, and Moji goes flying. It's over. The threat is gone. But the real damage, the sad part, is that it's already been done. Luffy sits with ChouChou in the ashes of his whole world. He couldn't save the shop, but he did manage to grab one thing from the fire, a single box of pet food. He just looks at the little dog and says, "You did good. You fought well." He couldn't save the building, but he saved what it stood for. He saved the treasure. And that's it. That's the beautiful, simple truth at the heart of this chapter. Treasure isn't about what's valuable. It's about what's precious.
It's a promise you made to a friend. It's a memory of someone you love. It's the meaning that we give to things.
So, that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. After seeing what a little dog and a rubber boy were willing to fight for, it really makes you ask yourself, what's your treasure? What memory, what promise, or what person would you defend no matter what?